filled with greenery, brimming with life. This is a place in harmony with nature. Welcome to the Pahang Buddhist Association. Established in 1967, the temple has come a long way, transforming beautifully into what you see today. Here, you can find peace and calm. In the shimmering waters of the lake. Gaze into the vast abundance of greenery to seek tranquility. We strive to serve the community in every possible way. Each small effort brings us closer together. We take pride in giving back to the community by playing an active role in cultivating the next generation. We help nurture both children and adults for a brighter future together. This is a place where national integration and social harmony are promoted. We may come from different backgrounds and religions, but here we are one. Youth is the hope of the nation and our future. And we do our best to support them. Religious harmony is ingrained in the community, where the beauty of togetherness flourishes here. Come experience it for yourself. A space where the union of the multi-ethnic community of Pahang is celebrated. With the bridge connecting us all.
All right. Yeah. Good evening, Dhamma friends. Welcome to the guided metta meditation. I call it a mini retreat because of the 2 hours of time. So, first of all, before we get started, it is important to give you precepts because we understand that the samadhi concentration is always preceded by precepts, I would say some sila. So there is a kind of purification for all of you. Because of that, I'm going to give you the precept. So first of all, everybody say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Can show the screen. Yeah, all right. Everybody, please say homage to the Buddha 3 times. Namo tassa bhagavate, everybody. Yeah. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Please repeat after me. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Five precepts. Panati pata viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinna dana viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majjapama dattana viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, first of all, we are going to learn what is metta and how to practice it. Because metta is the practice which you're going to cultivate today. Let me ask all of you, what is metta to you? Loving kindness. But when you say loving kindness, how do you understand the nature of metta? Because there is kindness and then love. How do these terms make up a practice? Because in English, these two terms have different connotations. You say love and then kindness. What is actually metta? Metta means friendliness. Metta means friendliness. That means we should be able to be friendly to all living beings. That is a challenging thing, right? Is it challenging? What is not challenging is sit down here and then think about it. It's not that challenging unless you have a physical discomfort, right? That might be a challenge. But other than that, the most challenging part to many of the people is that being friendly to oneself and then to other people. What does it mean? Let's say you have friends, right? You have your family friends, family and then friends, relatives, working friends. Maybe if you are a student, then you have friends at school, right? So and so forth. Have you been able to be friendly to everybody? What is your friendliness to everybody? Do you have certain limits to show that you are friendly to all of them? How many of you found out that there are people who you don't like? So how do you deal with them? So what did the Buddha ask us to be doing with people who we don't like, who we disagree? Did the Buddha say to walk away from them? Did the Buddha say not to even look at them? What do you do when you deal with people who you don't like? What is your response? Pardon? Huh? Greetings, yeah, hi and bye. Other than that, whenever you know there is someone that you don't like showing up in a place that you are going, what would you do? Would you avoid that event? Some people do that. Is it because of that person's problem or your problem? You getting angry, so you know you will be angry, so you avoid it way before you go in there. So the problem is with us, right? And then what are the other things you do? Avoiding, and then maybe limiting our responses to those people. And what are the other things you would do normally? Excuse me? Less interaction. Less interaction. Yeah, so there are so many things people do. But according to the metta practice, what did the Buddha ask us to do? He said we need to be friendly to every being, no matter what. Now the problem is a lot of people don't know how is this friendliness going to be worked out towards the people who we don't like, who we have some issues with. That means the Buddha says to us, we should be able to be friendly to everyone. greetings, as you say. But if the person is a problem maker, at that point, you would limit your interaction because you don't want them to create any unnecessary chaos, right? So isolating anybody is not the solution, rather than you responding to those people in a positive, good way by limiting interactions. So metta is an attitude, not even a meditation. That is why some people practice metta at home, but when they go to work, they cannot practice metta. Why is it? For them, it is a sitting meditation. It has not come to a point of an attitude. It should be an attitude. Attitude means whatever you do with metta. The Buddha says, mettaya kaya kamme. Act. You act with metta. Then mettaya vachi kamme. Speak with metta. Mettaya mano kamme. Think with metta. And then it will become an attitude, going beyond a sitting meditation. Sitting meditation is also necessary. Time to time, we need to do this kind of meditation. But the true time that where we going to practice metta is in the activity. Activities are coming from speech, body, speech, mind. So our plan today, by the end of this mini retreat, is to bring this metta as an attitude to your normal life. That is the plan. So then you are not only thinking, okay, tonight I have lots of metta, but by tomorrow evening, because there is no mini retreat, I might not be able to practice metta. Then there is an issue on your side. So our plan is to bring this to your daily life from tonight onwards. With that in mind, I am going to explain a little bit of metta and how we're going to do it today. So I think you know different methods of practicing metta. Right? Different speakers, different books have explained this in a different way. So we are going to practice metta in an easy way. Easy way does not mean it is easy, so you are not creating that attitude. It has to be comfortable, easy, at the same time being able to practice it. So our way is that understanding that friendliness has to be given to every being, starting from yourself. Then we are moving towards parents, family members, relatives, teachers. I would say then people who you don't like, disagree, and all living beings. Remember one story. When the Buddha was living, I think, at Jetavanarama, there was a monk who has been practicing metta since morning till the end of the day. When you see him, he is always practicing metta, loving kindness, friendliness. Always. He does not come out, he practices metta in his place, maybe in his room. But one day, he was bitten by a cobra. So he passed away. Then other monks reported to the Buddha, this particular monk has been practicing metta, friendliness, or in your words, loving kindness, so many years, but then he was bitten by a cobra. He passed away. How did it happen? Then the Buddha said, yes, he did practice metta, but he did not practice metta to some snakes. Interesting, huh? Then he started saying there are 4 types of snakes that he did not practice metta. Maybe he did not know. Virupaka, Erapata, Chabbyaputta, Tanha Gotam. These are the 4 types of snakes. Said about the pythons include in one category the black snakes and all that. Snakes, they are part of these reptiles groups. This story says that we need to specify beings in this universe, that these beings live, right, in our area. That means if you are living in an area where some kind of animals living, then you have to understand, are these animals live in my area? These particular creatures living in my area, so that you are practicing metta to them easily. But when you say all living beings, do you have an idea of who they are? You just say all living beings. But we do that. While you saying all living beings, you need to think that all living beings mean these creatures, all these creatures coexist with me. That is essential, right? Now, for example, one very good example is, let's say in your household, you don't like somebody. Right? You always disagree, you don't like. But when you come here, you practice metta, let's say today, may all livings be happy. But do you include that person in that category? Into that all living beings category? Do you include that person who you don't like in your household, in your workplace? I mean, I'm asking honestly. But you say, may myself and then my family and all that, etc., and finally, may all livings be well and happy, right? So do you necessarily include that particular person or other people who you don't like into that all living beings category? You might not. That means your metta at that point could be very limited, but you still say you practicing metta to all living beings. Now the same story, this is what happened to that monk. He said, may all living, but he did not particularly understand that there are certain reptiles that he particularly needed to practice. Of course, at that time, there were no lot of safety measures. There were reptiles going here and there in the temple. So they should have understood that these reptiles don't feel us, because they are running after their food and other things. So then we have to feel that they are there. May they be well and happy. So when you say may they be well and happy, you have to bring to your mind, according to where you live, that these animals live. If you are in a cold place, then you know what animals can come to your place. If you are living in a place where there are elephants, then you know elephants are always here and there. May elephants be well and happy. This is how it works. It depends on the place particularly. And finally, we may say, may all living beings happy. That is a must. Understanding, specifying these beings. Next is, how do we get into metta meditation as a practice? Attitude is the plan at the end. How do we practice it as a meditation? First, we're going to start it as a breath meditation. Through the breath meditation, we are going to calm our breath. And then once you are calm, then you are slowly getting into the metta. Because you have to calm yourself first. Sometimes you are not calm enough to go to metta. So do a little bit of breath, and then slowly, once you feel you are so relaxed, some people say, I even don't feel now I am breathing. That is the point where you bring metta into your object. Right? Because Anapanasati is not only one type of meditation. It is a meditation. We call it when you go for restaurants, we call it, you have a starter. Appetizers. What do you mean by appetizer starters? That is where you start your main course. You don't directly go to the main course. You start yourself. You spice it up. Right? Then only you go to the main course. You don't directly go to the main course. Just feel the taste, so and so forth. In the same way, Anapanasati is a starter to many meditations, right? And then but we don't continue a lot in Anapanasati. We just calm ourselves, then go to the Metta. So from us, then towards other people. Why do we start from ourselves? What is the reason for that? Why do we practice Metta to us first? Any reason? Any others? Why do we start Metta from ourselves? Why can't we practice from other people? Self-care is number one. If you don't have self-care, you cannot do other care. But there is a small tricky part. If you work a lot about self-care, you will be very much egoistic, self-centered. So then we should know how to take care of us in a moderate way and then to immediately turn that practice to other people. On the other hand, we start from ourselves just to feel how much I care myself, and that care, same care, has to be given to other people. Not like, may I be well and happy, may my mom and dad, my family, and other people might not be as much as how I do to myself. Just to, break down that misunderstanding, you start from yourself. All right. Okay, so if you have any questions, we can discuss later. But now, what we're going to do is, we're going to start the meditation at this point. Sitting meditation, I do understand because we have time. We're going to take a break for, not a break, I would say, for walking meditation, just to feel comfortable. If you feel uncomfortable, please take a chair and sit, or you could do a walking meditation at that point. But let's say, until I say we're going to move on to the walking meditation, you try to sit like this, but if you cannot, take a chair and sit. So we're going to switch to a walking meditation after some time. All right, so let's get ready now for the meditation. One thing to note, please put your phone to silent in case your phone might ring, like how I did. All right. Let's get ready for the meditation. First, we are going to get started our guided Metta meditation from some levels of Anapanasati. Anapanasati is the starter to this meditation. In order for you to start off breath meditation practice as a starter to the guided meditation, please find a comfortable position. I would say the comfortable position could be a chair for those people who cannot sit, and for others, it is maybe a cushion. Maybe you might be seated on the floor. Wherever you are seated at this point, please find it comfortable. The next thing is, keep your back upright. This is very important for Anapanasati, even for Metta. When you keep your back upright, you have a good blood flow, and you have a good, I would say, a flowing meditation. You will be having a very flowing, consistent meditation throughout the time. After that, you are seated comfortably and your back is upright. Your tongue could be on the roof of your mouth, just to keep that tension on. The next thing to do is get a sense of your body, the size, type, weight, any manifestation of your body, just to understand about your body. Once you have that knowledge, then we are going to check whether our body is relaxed enough for the breath meditation as a starter to the guided metta meditation. If your body is tight or tense, now it is time to relax those places of your body which are tight or tense. What can we do? At this point, we can take a deep breath just to relax our body. This is kind of an exaggerated breath, which we don't do in the actual breath meditation, but we do it here now to relax. Take one deep breath. If you are not relaxed after taking the one deep breath, you can go for 2 or 3 deep breaths to relax your body. Once you feel you are relaxed, then we are going on to the actual breath meditation. In the breath meditation, what we do is we are going to watch our breaths. It could be a long breath, short breath, whatever the breath you are watching, just make sure that you are only watching one breath at a time. You could also notice the places of your breath. It might be nostrils, your mouth, abdomen, whatever other places. And you will feel air. Call it Vayu Dhatu. Element of air. By looking at element of air, you understand your breaths are happening in and out. You can notice how your breaths or whatever styles arise and how they go out. All right, keep practicing this way. I want to tell you what will happen as you practice watching the breaths. The more you refine your breath, that means the more you calm your breath, I would say the more you refine your breaths, the calmer you are. We need that calmness to get into metta. In case you get distracted while you do the anapanasati as a starter, do not worry. Please bring your focus back to watching breaths. Now let's take a minute of time just to make sure this practice as a starter is good enough to go to the metta. Okay, now we are going to the metta at this point. Assuming that you are calm yourself already by looking at your breaths. If you have been able to see your breaths as they are, that is a good sign, positive sign that you can keep practicing on a different object. Now we are turning that watching breaths object into metta. Please reflect upon these aspects of the metta, starting from us. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May no problems come to me. May I always meet with success. May I also have patience, courage, and understanding to overcome all difficulties, failures, and problems in my life. Let's practice this self-care for the first half. We will be doing the metta to other people after. Keep practicing self-care to you. You need lots of self-care without being egoistic. I will give you an indication after some time of this meditation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we are going into the walking meditation section. We practice metta to us, call it self-care. After the walking meditation, we are going to do the second part, that is to practice metta to other people. So I want to discuss with you about how to walk mindfully, because this is also another thing that you should need to bring it to your daily life, not even just to walk very carefully. Some people don't walk mindfully, they walk very carefully while the meditation is going on, right? We have to walk mindfully. I would say we have to walk with some awareness. That is the plan. That has carefulness, that has observation. Let's see, there are a couple things that I wanted to tell you before you start off. As you begin, walk at a natural pace. Don't be too slow, too fast. Place your hands wherever comfortable, on your belly, behind your back, or at your sides. If you find it useful, you can count steps up to 10. Now the thing is that it looks like this area is very large, so you may go probably more than that if it is okay, and we have to see how this is going to work. I probably think you can walk that way. There's a I would say larger area to walk, all of you. And if you want to go outside of your area, you can practice walking meditation too outside, but you have to come at that time, I say. And then start back at 1 again. If you go as a number, start back at a number again. If you are in a small place, as you reach 10, pause, and with intention choose a moment to turn around. So when, let's say, you walk from here to there and you stop over there, slowly turn around and then understand where you are and then start back again. Not like go and turn around and come back very fast. Now you know that, okay, I had to pause over there, just position myself, maybe there or here, and then again walking mindfully. Second, where are we going to focus in our walking meditation? It's a very big question a lot of people ask. With each step, pay attention to the lifting and falling of your foot. Lifting, and then you have to place it down, right? This is where we are focusing on. I mean, you are doing it naturally, not doing with lots of carefulness, because then you can't practice it in your daily life. Do it naturally. Then bring your awareness to that natural walking. Not like, okay, I'm gonna lift it slowly and then place it down slowly. You can't do that. It's going to be a very fake practice. Walk naturally, but today you're going to see how I am lifting my foot naturally, how I am placing it down. Notice movement in your legs and the rest of your body. Now, when you walk, there are other things happening also, right? Notice any shifting of your body from, maybe you might be having some sickness. You may be not able to properly walk. Maybe you may walk shaky. You might walk onto the side, right? Your walking might not be very symmetrical. Understand, how is my walking? Am I walking properly? Is my position very well? So this is a very good practice to understand whether I am walking properly or like to the side, right? Whatever else captures your attention, come back to the sensation of walking. Fans are working, air conditioning is working, projector is on. There are two people working behind the back. So there are different things happening. Whatever the things that your mind might go, bring back to your walking. I am walking. They are not important. They are important people. But I mean, the important thing at this moment is paying attention to my walking. Attention in the sense of how I walk, how my walking happens. Not even at the moment, but also at other times. When you go home, your mind will wander. You can't stop it, but you can do something. So without frustration, guide it back again as many times as you need. Particularly outdoors, maintain a larger sense of the environment around you, taking it on in all, staying safe and aware. While you're walking, be careful where you're walking, how you walk. This is also very important if you walk outside. Whether you are indoors, in the woods, or in a city, pay attention to sounds without labeling or naming or getting. Now, while walking, not even you see things, you may hear some sounds, fans, maybe the walking noise, or whatever the things. But never ever get caught up with those sounds. Just think it's a sound, just a sound. But my focus is paying attention to walking. But when some people walk, they get caught up. What is that sound? Did I hear that before? Then walking mindfulness, mindful walking will go away. Just identify it's a sound, that's it. It can be a sound, it can be a smell. I'm not going to read all that. It can be something you see. Whatever you see, smell, hear, consider them just a sound, just a smell, just a sight. I'm not going to get caught up. I just understand only. I am focusing only on my walking part. Keep this open awareness of everything around you, wherever you are, nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to change. Right? Fully aware and walking. Now, what happens to you when you are walking normally? You think, I saw it, I had to fix that. I heard that, I had to go turn it off. Right? Your mind will go to many other chores while walking. At this point, you will understand it's a sound, that's it. It's a smell, that's it. It's a sight, that's it. But I'm more focusing on walking. When you are ready to end your walking meditation, mindful walking, very importantly, stand still for a moment again. Stand still wherever you are on the other, on whatever the side. Pausing. This is very important. Choosing a moment to end the practice. Now I'm going to end my mindful walking because I'm going to switch back to sitting at that point. As you finish, consider how you might bring this kind of awareness into the rest of your day. That means to your daily life. Any questions, some folks? Any questions you have? Yes. When you walk, look at the movements. No, you just notice it only. Now you can't see like this, huh? Yeah. No, we don't label other things. We don't label sounds, sight, other stuff that are not walking. But here we have to particularly look at it too. Yeah, movements only. But we don't try to label it in the sense of it is a, I would say, this kind of a lifting, this kind of a placing down. We are not labeling whatever the other things that are not related to the walking. We are looking at our walking as it is in terms of lifting and then placing down. There are so many other things, subsequent things that are happening, but do not get caught up in too many details, but just lifting and then placing down. Try to notice it properly because you don't notice it when you are walking at other times. All right, so let's get started. And we're going to be starting our second part of the Metta by 9:35. That means in another 20 minutes. Now almost 9:20, 9:35. If you go outside, please come back here by 9:30. Dear Dhamma friends, please return to your seats for the second part of the Metta meditation. Can somebody check whether there are people outside the door? Please make your way to your seats for the next part of the second part of the Metta meditation. Did everyone come back here? Hopefully, yeah? All right. So let's get started. Our second part of the Metta meditation. Please go back to your postures as I said in the first half. We are going to move on to the next part as we did after the Anapanasati. At Anapanasati, you just simply calm yourself down by watching your breaths. I hope that you are already at that level. Now, the next level of the next and final level of the Metta meditation. Please reflect upon these aspects of your Metta practice. May my parents, family members, relatives, teachers, I would say enemies or people who disagree with you, and all living beings. When you say all living beings, you need to understand who they are in your own capacity. Be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May no problems come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have patience, courage, and understanding. To overcome inevitable difficulties, problems, and failures in life. So we are now giving lots of metta to others, starting from our loved ones and others, just as how we did to ourselves. Let's keep this practice and make it as an attitude at the end. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, now we are moving on to Q&A. If you have any question about the metta meditation we did or metta in general, please feel free to ask your question. Maybe we can give you a microphone for the recording purposes. If you don't have a question, so we will be transferring good karmas. What was the most challenging thing that you faced during the meditation? You can give the mic to anybody. Yeah. I think everybody practiced well. And I mean, what was the most difficult thing that you faced, if you had anything in your metta meditation today? Yeah, you can raise your hand if you want.
I think it is my practice that as I sit, I cannot sit full lotus, and he asked me to go for yoga. But I find when I sit too long, I have this burning sensation on my any. So the earlier master told me to concentrate on that part.
That is why I started with a comfortable position. You could have seated on a chair. Because some people can make it, some people cannot. If a young person is to say like that, I definitely say you need more practice to sit, especially for a sitting meditation. You may be young in your mind too, but I'm thinking if it is a burning sensation that comes with your age or whatever like that, if you think you have no problem health-wise, but you still want to continue,
I have no health problem. It was even during my younger days.
You had the same problem.
Yeah.
If so, then I think the consistent practice is necessary. That means you need to be able to sit like that, especially if you do this meditation at home. I don't think you are sitting on the floor. You would sit on a chair.
I sit on the hard chair.
Yeah, so that means it is necessary for you to practice meditation on a retreat format. Like when you go on a retreat, you may sit on the floor like this on a cushion. Maybe if you do it a couple times, you'll be able to catch up with the easy way of spending some time. But I think for you, it may be good to sit on a chair, because rather than struggling with thinking about the sitting practice, you have to pay more attention to the object, metta. If you sit on a chair, then metta practice will be easy for. So actually, it is not very much necessary to sit down, because we sat as a group. That is why we ask people to sit on the floor, right? Otherwise, if the sitting issue is only the problem, I think better to sit on a chair and then continue the practice. So there are a couple ways to think about it. But if you still think that on retreat formats you feel uncomfortable to sit, but you really want to sit, then you can attend some retreats on a regular basis. So you will have to sit, and then you will be able to sit for long. Yeah.
Thank you.
Different ways to look at it. Yeah.
Any of our group like to share their views and their reading? Or else we
We can transfer the good karmas, all right. So now we are going into transferring the merits level. May all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today by especially by giving you precepts and you renewed your precepts and then you practice Anapanasati as a starter and then the guided metta meditation into parts. One is to yourself and then to other people, starting from your loved ones and all that. May all the good karmas you created in wholesome ways, positive wholesome ways, kusala ways, be transferred to all your departed ones that passed away in the name of all of you. As I said yesterday, the son of the president of this center, including him and all the other departed ones who passed away in your family. Maybe your parents, maybe your siblings, maybe any other person, or those of them who you don't know that passed away in your sansaric life. This is a perfect time to give good karmas to them. May all the good karmas be transferred to them. May your departed ones be well and happy. If they were reborn in a place of pain, kama dugati, may they be able to release from those painful realms. If they were already reborn in a place of happiness, kama sugati, may they be able to improve that life, listen to more Dhamma, practice more Dhamma, apply more Dhamma. More importantly, application of Dhamma is the most difficult thing to many people. They know sometimes a lot of Dhamma, but the application is not going to work. They don't know how to do it. Right? So, finally, may all those departed ones attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idamme ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. Idamme ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. Idamme ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. Also, may all the good karmas be shared by all the Deva, Naga, Mahitika. Deva means deities, Naga means snake beings, serpent beings, and Mahitika means all the other powerful beings. These beings are non-humans, they are not humans. So may all these beings, non-human beings, be well and happy. May they share all these good karmas and may they protect and bless all of you, your family members, your parents, siblings, spouse, children, even grandchildren. Everybody who could come here today, who couldn't come here today, all living beings. May they protect all living beings, including yourself, for good health, quality of life, prosperity, and safety. In particular, may all these non-human beings support and bless us for our spiritual journey, Dhamma journey. And finally, may all non-human beings attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu loka sasanang. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanang. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti chirang rakkhantu tvang sadati. In this sansaric journey, may we be able to be in the company of Kalyana Mittas, noble friends who help us continue, maintain, deepen, accelerate this Dhamma journey to attain at least a Sotapanna, maybe at the most an Arahant. May we be not in the company of the Papamittras, bad friends, evil friends, who can distract us, who can pull us away from the path. Thinking thus, we're going to make a wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating since yesterday. We started our program yesterday with a Dhamma talk, and today we done this mini retreat with guided metta meditation. Maybe one day we're gonna be doing a one-day meditation retreat. Maybe one day. So may all these good karmas be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now I will be blessing you. Please receive the blessings. Abhivadana siris nichang vaddha prachayino Chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvannu sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sakka sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminchatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we are going to respect the Buddha. We are going to bow down 3 times towards the Buddha statue as a respect for the teachings. And with that will be the end of today's mini retreat. Thank you, everybody. Have a very good night.